I'm not sure that my clip is big enough. What do you guys think? We all go through tough times, and I probably should have made this video for you guys a long time ago. But today I am going to talk about this topic. Specifically, I am going to give you guys 3 tips for how to deal with any tough time you might be experiencing in your life. So this is the video for you to watch if you have recently been dumped, broken up with somebody, maybe fired from your job, anything like that. If you are going through a rough time, these 3 tips will help to get you back on track. So if this is the video for you, then be sure to keep watching. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a life coach and law of attraction teacher, and you have found my YouTube channel where I upload 2 new videos for you guys each and every week, all about the art of manifesting your next miracle through mindset and really taking care of what's happening on your inside. So if you want to join me on this journey of massive expansion and transformation, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn the bell notification on to be notified every time a new video goes live. Tough times are just a fact of life. We all experience a big dip in the road at some point in life. The most important thing I want you guys to know straight off the bat before we dive into the tips is that tough times aren't something that you can completely avoid in life. I think this is one of the downsides of the manifesting community, is that we think that if we just think positive thoughts all the time, we'll be able to avoid all of the life crap that most people have to go through. And that is just not true. We all have to go through these experiences. And the truth of the matter is that ultimately, these experiences are what helps transform you into the best version of yourself. And I don't want to turn you guys off right away. I know that when you are in the middle of feeling like crap, it is really difficult to imagine a time when you can ever feel better. And trust me, I've had like a really crappy experience happen to me. The short of the long of it was I used to be married. I had a business with my ex-husband, and over the course of one weekend, I lost, like, he broke up with me, so I lost the business, I lost where I was living, I lost everything basically. My entire basis of my life at that point was completely uprooted, and it was a really awful experience that I wouldn't wish on anybody. But I know now ultimately that that experience has turned me into who I am today. That experience was not fun. It was not pleasant. Again, I wouldn't wish it on anyone, but ultimately it has given me some of my best life lessons. So maybe you're not ready to hear about that just yet. Maybe you're not ready to look for the silver lining. This video isn't going to be about forcing you to do that yet. When things just happen, it is really just all about keeping your head above water at first. So hold on to what I just said, hold that in your heart. That will come back to you later. But for now, I'm going to dive into the 3 tips that you can start using right now in order to give yourself a little bit more space and ease around whatever has happened to you in your life. So how to deal with tough times. Tip number 1 is to double down on the self-love. So I know that when your heart is broken or you just were let go from a job, it can be so difficult not to take things personally. And when you're taking things personally, it is very easy to spiral into a cycle of self-hatred and self-loathing and thinking that you are the root cause of all of these problems, right? So I want to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective on this. Like, I believe, again, like I said in the beginning, I have a little bit more of a spiritual perspective that maybe you haven't heard before, but I believe that we are given these experiences as a chance for us to prove to ourselves what we really are. So this is your opportunity to prove to yourself that you are still worthy of self-love. And I know in the beginning, I may not feel like you are worthy of anything. I know in the beginning when you are like feeling like just crying on the floor all day, trying to love yourself is a big challenge. Trying to have any empathy for yourself can be a real challenge. So I want you guys just to take this one day at a time and just keep coming back to asking yourself, if I, had to make the loving choice for myself right now, what would that choice be? So maybe that is going home and eating the ice cream and crying on the sofa. You are totally allowed to do that for a few times. Don't do that for months on end. That won't end happily. But you are allowed to indulge in the behavior you feel like indulging in. You are allowed to, skip a yoga class, or maybe not go and hang out with your friends. If it feels like self-love to hang out by yourself at home, then do that. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you don't want to be home alone. Maybe self-love feels like finding new people to hang out with, or enrolling in a new class, or signing up for an extra exercise class. Self-love can look like many things. I just would caution you not to use self-love as an excuse to indulge in all your worst tendencies. Like, there's a time where eating ice cream on the sofa is okay and healthy. And then there's a time where that behavior becomes compulsive and unhealthy. So you need to make sure that you stay out of the compulsive, unhealthy zone. But show yourself some love. Book yourself a massage. Maybe book yourself a trip. Maybe take off for a weekend to visit a friend and just get some space and to clear your head and to not stay in your sad zone. Think of what self-love care you need right now and keep giving it to yourself, because you are worth it. It is so worth being kind to yourself. It is so worth listening to what you really need and making sure that you are offering it to yourself. At the end of the day, you guys, we are all our own best friends. And in a time when times are tough, it is time for you to shine as your own best friend. And that means listening to what you really want and taking care of those needs. So please double down on the self-love. Do what you need to do. It's going to be a little bit different for everyone, but make sure that you are spending time every day taking care of you in this time of need. Tip number 2 for how to feel better when times are tough is please do not rush to feel normal. So this is actually kind of a tough one to actually enact, because I think, especially like in breakup terms, when people have been dumped, part of the base reaction that everyone has is that they immediately want to go out and date somebody again, because they feel like they have this void in their life and they think that if they fill that void back up, they're going to feel better. And if you have ever gone directly from one relationship to the next, you know that that doesn't really work. You're just carrying baggage into the new relationship without having processed it, which puts strain on the new relationship, and it doesn't give anyone a really good start. Plus, you might be making some bad decisions about who you're getting into a relationship with because you aren't thinking clearly. You're just trying to fill a void. So that might be an extreme example, but culturally, we actually encourage this all the time. So if people are coming up to you and being like patting you on the back and saying, oh, feel better, like that is a kind of cultural rush for us to encourage people to feel better really fast. We just want everyone to feel good, but that need for other people to feel good feels really bad when you feel really bad, because it's not giving yourself enough time to grieve and heal, right? So you have to understand that those people, they're not trying to weigh you down. It's just, this is what the culture has brought us. We aren't used to looking at somebody who is in pain and acknowledging that pain and knowing what to do with that pain. We just want to rush to make everything feel better. And in fact, we will rush people to a psychiatrist to take a pill to artificially feel better, even if they're in a situation where sometimes it is totally natural and normal to not feel good. The other point I want to make about rushing back to feel normal is a lot of people feel like they need to get back to where they were in order to feel better. And the one thing I want to just remind you guys of is, no matter what you have just lost, no matter what has just happened in your life, your normal now is completely different. So there really is no going back to that spot. And that can be really scary because your brain just wants you to feel safe. So your brain wants you to go back to familiar territory. And unfortunately right now, nothing is familiar. Everything is brand new. You are getting to know yourself again as this person without the job, without the partner, whatever it is in your life. But you have to just remember that. You have to remember that normal has now shifted. Now you need to figure out what normal is. But do not rush back there. Do not let anyone push you back into feeling better as fast as possible. Do not let anyone bulldoze you through the mourning process, the grieving process, whatever process you're going through. Do not rush through it. There is no award for coming back and feeling better as fast as possible. And again, I know within breakups, there can be an extra layer of it and people are like rushing to social media to try to look happy. But I guarantee you guys, most of the time that is just an act. And if your life looks Instagram perfect, that really doesn't mean your insides are feeling good at all. We should all know this lesson. I know that you need to hear it though sometimes. So please do not rush to feel normal. Please do not put emphasis on feeling normal. Please just understand that this is a new way of you coming into the world. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to find your equilibrium. And that is okay. It is totally okay to figure out who you are again now. It is totally okay for you to start fresh again now, having processed whatever has just happened to you. If there's no old normal to go back to, it's all about creating the new normal. So again, you've got to get curious. You've got to give yourself a lot of self-love, and you've got to give yourself the space, you guys. You are allowed to take as much time as you need to go through whatever it is you're going through. So do not let culture, people, parents, friends, whoever, well-meaning as they might be, do not let them rush you through this, okay? Take your time and let yourself heal. Tip number 3 for how to feel better when times are tough is to stay away from the comparisons. And this is actually a good happiness tip. No matter what is happening in your life, you can create some real icky, dark feelings. If you are feeling really down about yourself and you are looking at Instagram all day and thinking that everyone else's life is perfect except yours. Or maybe, again, you're looking at your ex who has moved on already, or maybe you're looking at the person who took your old job, or maybe, you know, whatever you're doing, you can get obsessive over this. You can really start comparing your life to someone else's. And I just want to remind you to stay away from that. If you have to put a timer on your phone, you know, put your phone in the freezer, like do whatever you need to do to break the cycle of checking out other people and comparing yourselves. Take Instagram off of your phone for a while. The world will still keep turning. The thing is, when we are feeling good, even sometimes those images of perfect other lives, which are never really perfect, of course, they can make us feel bad even when we feel good, right? So when we feel bad, when our heart is broken, when our self-esteem is in the toilet, do not add an extra layer onto that. Stay away from looking at all of that stuff, you guys. Stay away from torturing yourself. Our brains are experts at torturing us because they have been with us our whole entire life. They know exactly how to push our buttons. And really, this is a behavior that you can control. It might feel compulsive at first. It might feel like you need closure somehow. All of that stuff isn't really true. You will never get closure from looking at someone's Instagram photos. You will never get closure from trying to piece together something that no longer has anything to do with you. The only solution is to go cold turkey. It is to shut off, stop looking, stop thinking about it, stop obsessing about it, and really, really, really stop comparing yourself. Comparison is one of the best, fastest ways to feel crap about yourself. And in this time right now of need, you do not to feel any more crap about yourself. So please go cold turkey, do what you have to do, and stop worrying about anyone else in the world but you, my darling. Again, trust me, no one's life is perfect. No other relationship is perfect. The person you think you loved is not perfect. Like, the job wasn't perfect, the office wasn't perfect, none of it was perfect. So you do not need to waste any time on it. And sometimes you just need someone to tell you that and to remind you of the truth. So those are my 3 tips for you guys today. And I just want to close out this video by reminding you that life is a journey. This is not the end of your story. Your story keeps going. So we all go to the movies, and when we sit down to watch a movie, we know the lead character always has a big problem at the beginning of the movie, right, you guys? If there wasn't a problem, we wouldn't be at the movies. So right now, you are just at the beginning of your own movie. The movie isn't over. This isn't the end. This is the beginning, and you get to write your ending. You get to become the hero. You need to go to the next level. This is what you are going to do. It is not the end. Please stop thinking of whatever has happened as the end. It is only a new chapter in your life, and one that you get to write your way. So I hope this video has given you a little bit of peace. Again, the most important thing to do is to really double down on the love for yourself and to really challenge yourself to keep believing in your own self-worth despite whatever is happening around you. It's like we're here to play a video game, and we need to keep believing no matter what. And this is just a challenge that you have been given, and you will pass this level eventually. So I hope that this video finds you well. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you know somebody that could use this message, please do me a huge favor and pass this along to them. I would really love your help in doing that. If this helped you out at all, if you liked this message, if it resonated, go ahead and click that like button. That would really help me out a lot. And if you want to learn more about me, you can come on over to the site. I have a free fear setting workbook for you guys to download over there, and that will really help to get you past any fears that you might be battling in your life right now. And PS, we all have fears that we are up against. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I really wish you all the love and joy and happiness in the world, and just remember that this time is temporary. No matter what is happening, it will end soon one day. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll be back here soon in the next one. So until then, I'm wishing you a beautiful week of love and self-care, and just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.